Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War themed gamescasts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a best of 3 in Unification, with the first game being on Streets of Vogan. Playing for the forces of our Martyred Lady, we have got me, we've got Splash, and we've got OMC Dr. Nox. And playing against us as the Cult of Strife, we have got Tiger Shark, we have got Vrax, and we have got Crimson. So the story for this game is essentially way back when sisters, the force of our Martyred Lady, they were kind of chilling, kind of vibing, and then one day there was a Nurgle cultist outbreak somewhere nearby their system, and they were like, hang on, you can't worship Nurgle, that's totally heresy, you're not allowed to do that. So they go over there, they crump some Nurgle worshipping ladies and boys and gentlemen of all names and stripes, and then after a while they realise, oh hang on, the corpse or the holy burns of our Martyred Lady has now been infected with some Nurgle stuff, so we've got to give her a wash. And there's only one place that they can give her a wash, and I do believe that was the City of Purity. Now, fun fact, while this was going on, the Cult of Strife from the Dark Eldar homeworld, or home city of Kamarath, decided to go to the City of Purity to do their usual raiding and stuff. And they decided to make like a little bit of a cult arena about that place and have like a little bit of a gay old time. Sisters go there, heads clash, and I don't know if they actually wrote a winner for it in the lore, purely because I do believe that the conflict was written as part of a... Oh, you know when you get those starter sets and you get 2 armies in one box? It was written for that kind of release. So whether they've written a winner for that conflict, I don't know, but we will see a winner here today, as it is a best of 3, mainly because everyone in this game at the moment isn't very confident playing the Sisters or the Dark Eldar, so we thought, right, the games probably won't be that long individually, so let's attempt to do a best of 3 in that way. There's no pressure on anyone having to do all that well. So now we've got Kareness for me coming out, seeing these mandrakes. Missionary's not going to do all that well against their number, but she will come over to see if she can assist. Kind of a similar story over here, but we do have double Seraphins moving around. The Seraphins are probably the best way to go about going against these guys, as they can bob in and out of combat, always firing on the move, even when they are in retreat. So the mandrakes over here are going to have a much more difficult time. Well, but we have managed to beat them back with like a trio of people. Also, a fun fact, so Splash is an absolute hero in this game, because I don't know when it started, maybe about the first 2 minutes of the game, but essentially he had a bug where the taskbar toggled all the way down and it would not untoggle back up, so he couldn't actually press any of the buttons down on this side, so he had to basically play the entire game using hotkeys. So he would say, hey, what's the hotkey for this unit or this production building? So we'd have to shout at him for it. But obviously in the middle of combat it's quite hard to do. So what a hero. He didn't give up. He kept on going. An absolute champion. But this missionary is not going to keep on going. He's going to be cut down to shreds. Oh, good lord, that's a cool kill animation, has to be said. Vrax has sent a... Is it Vrax? Oh no, it's me. I've sent a Canoness down to assist. So I mean, the Dark Eldar are probably going to have the advantage in the early games, but then again, this is Unification, and Dark Eldar they're good in the early game when the warriors get their shredder rifles, but they do need the Dark Foundry for that. And then they're middling in the mid game, and then absolutely peak in the late game. They have a stunning effect, stunning aura going on these ladies, draining the health, allowing that Archon to get some more licks in there. But yeah, the sisters, all they need to do is just kind of hold on. Maybe bring out a Saint or 2 in the late games. Lots of Exorcists, lots of Immolators. All that usual fun stuff. But then again, the Dark Eldar in Unification do have lots of options to go for. We've got a Hellion squad in the base at the moment, which is providing no small amount of nuisances. But a battle squad of sisters trying to hold back these mandrakes. But the mandrakes are just too quick and too strong, especially with their poison blades and when they're supported by a warrior squad or 2. So they will be falling back, at least for now. One Kareness stuck in the middle of that. That is not a mosh pit she wants to get involved in. But lots of Seraphins. Seraphins are probably, like I said, the way forward in this scenario. Will be really useful all the way through in whatever tier we'll be fighting in. Trying to maybe outmatch the Dark Eldar in the maneuverability. Do you believe these mandrakes are you now infiltrated? You are infiltrated indeed. So need to keep those missionaries out and about so we can spot them. What a nuisance they are. Archon doesn't look all that healthy though. Trying to get another incubus to keep him alive, but are they able to get him down? Oh, he turns around. The fool! The reckless fool! He goes down, I'm afraid. And the sisters now have more or less free reign over on this side if the Seraphins are microed to a good extent. Which Dr. Noxie knows a thing or two about micro. Got a cheeky slave chamber being popped down here, trying to prevent my Canoness from running away. She understands that it's a folly. There's no chance of her getting out here. So she'll lead these guys over towards these Battle Sisters. And there's some novitiate, because somebody told me how to read that the other day in a comment. Novitiates, that's what they're called. How exciting is that? Yeah, Battle Sisters not got any upgrades at the moment. Probably Flamers. I mean, heavy bottles would be the best idea for long-range combat. With the Mandrakes online at the moment, probably Flamers are the way forward, but it is quite the scrum going on down here. And these guys have now got their Shredder rifles, so increasing their overall damage output over onto this side. Roundabouts here, we've got some Seraphins flying about, causing untold pain and misery to the Dark Eldar over on this side. Only a squad of Mandrakes and a Archon over here, but these ladies will be stunned within the firing line of this Tower of Loathing. One lady being knocked down, soon to be knocked down forever, but oh, there we go, knocked down in the middle of the air. Over on this side, we have managed to at least hold these guys back for a little bit, using this Listening Post and its fiery bits to our full advantage. That is a really inopportunely placed piece of terrain there. There we go. Mandrakes running away, tail in between their legs, some would say. All the ladies want to do is just wash their holy burns. That's all they wanted to do, man. But no, the Dark Eldar are like, you can't do that, because we are just major party poopers. Got a good amount of Battle Sisters going on down here. What's the current economy while everyone's chilling out? We've got 92 and 30, 74 and 10, and 74 and 30 compared to 86 and 10, 98 and 30, and 74 and 10. So no major economy booms at the moment. Everyone putting a lot of money into their tier 1s, trying to get that map control. After all, in this map, I've completely didn't... It's hard to remember what to include in a video, when, especially in a theme game, when there's so much information to give at the beginning. But essentially, the map's more or less a mirror kind of situation, except that we've got, in the middle, we've got critical locations, whereas we've also got extra strategic points to knock around with. I do believe. Yep, so it's mainly this one and this one over here, that extra one that's up for grabs, I think. He says. Either way, they're quite exposed, quite easy to get, regardless. Dark Eldar taking up the lion's share of the map at the moment. Got double warriors, double Mandrakes, double Hellions. Oh no, only one Hellion, never mind me. Is that triple Mandrakes? No, it's double. Oh no, triple. Yep, I can count. I can count and see things. Angelic Visage on these Seraphins, allowing them to do a lot of damage to the warrior squad. They are in heavy cover there, so they will resist the assault from the Seraphins. They're even managing to take out a couple. Some invisible... I mean, oh, we're going to have to watch it from the Dark Eldar perspective, aren't we, so we can see those infiltrated Mandrakes from Tiger Shark. Oh, on this side, we're trying to push out. We've got our Flamers. We've also got a missionary in there. We've been collecting some faith, so we should be able to do some laying of hands if I remember to do it. Probably when you're not familiar or play sisters very confidently or commonly. So it's very easy to forget about those faith abilities. But we shall stand firm. No one's going to get us down. Pushing those guys back. Oh, I mean, I suppose that we were pushed back. We were the aggressors in that situation. A very significant Dark Eldar shenanigans going over onto this side here. God, these pillars. This map is terrible for casting. Good lord. Right, okay. We've got warrior squads firing at these Seraphins. Seraphins are being supported by the Listening Post, but Listening Post looks like it's about to go down with the sheer amount of Mandrakes in this situation. Some Celestians in the background, very decent in ranged combat. A lot chunkier than the Seraphins. We've also got Splash coming over with a sizable amount of sisters to bash and smash everyone. But this is good for the sisters. We've got the army. We just need to be able to take these guys down. Seraphins will jump over, trying to get a surround on some of these units, breaking the morale of these warriors over here. But no squad wipes, as far as I can tell. At least if they are, There's not that many. Archon, being caught out of position, will be taken down. And if there was ever a chance to push, now is the time. Also pushing over here, we've got a lightning fighter. Was thinking to go aircraft just to avoid those melee squads. So the Mandrakes can't do anything. We've got Cheeky Hollow Blood being put down here for quicker reinforcement. But we shan't be having that kind of thing going on. Got a Venom coming over for Heat Lance, making exceptionally good against... Is it? Oh, is it a Dark Lance that's anti-vehicle? Either way, the Lightning Fighter doesn't have that much in the way of health, but it is quite a chunky flying unit. We're now being surrounded by the Hellions over onto this side. We'll need to fall back a little bit as we do not want to engage in too much close combat. We are looking for a sizable flying fleet over here. Dark Eldar are regrouping. We are not pushing as far as we could have. This sizable army over here could have if they really wanted to. There's not that much distance between where the fight was and Tiger Shark's base, and at the end of that combat, I didn't have all that much to play with. So they could have, in theory, taken him down. But it's the lack of confidence, it's the unfamiliarity with either faction that's making us kind of play a little bit too safe, some would say. I'm also going to go for an Immolator as well. I want that multi-melter on there to take care of the Venoms and Reaver jet bikes. But we now have some Scourges coming out, and they are going to go for Heat Lances all day long. Thinking about killing all the infantry as quickly as possible, in the hopes that they can then all converge on the vehicles. Got some Scourges over here as well. No special upgrades on them, but their natural weapon is still pretty good all the same. But flames everywhere, purifying fire. No one's gonna rain on their parade anytime soon. Canoness also on here, and one lonely Seraphim. He's got no friends anymore. The friends have gone. Got a push coming on over on this side. The Heat Lances being an absolute nuisance. And these Hellions really causing us some issues here. Flamers, I managed to break the morale. Also got some Inferno pistols out and about. Canoness, there we go. I've used a Faith ability. 1 point to me for remembering that stuff. So all these guys have very low accuracy for a short while. Does not affect the vehicles, it seems. Didn't quite also stretch out to these Scourges over here. In fact, just the sheer amount of pigeons coming over onto this side. No fun for the ladies, but we are holding as best we can. Solid firing line. Canoness trying to tie up as many Scourges as humanly possible. Sister Battle down here having some hands laid upon them. Immolator also coming in for a little bit, but we've realised that we're losing quite a lot of our force now. Best to try and reposition, maybe fight under this turret here just for an additional support, but that's too many. There's too many Dark Eldar. Over on this side, there was a bit of a push that we missed, but it's been pushed back by the Vrax. By the Vrax? Vrax? I suppose it depends which European nation that they hail from, is how you would pronounce the W in that. But Vrax are quite intense, very strong melee combatants. As the game begins, the Dark Eldar have got a choice between either being ranged or melee orientated, but as further on you get into towards the game, the higher tiers you go, the more viable are the Dark Eldar's close combat opportunities with their witches, their monstrous chimeras, their blooming warp beast squads. Very, very deadly in the melee department are the Dark Eldar. Yeah, we have been overrun. About to lose our manufacturer. I'm trying to get a one more Immolator just for the good times, but sadly we do not manage to get it. Trying to get a Sisters Repentia squad out as well. Because I've noticed that they haven't gone too heavy on the close combat stuff, so maybe some Sisters Repentia might be what the Doctor ordered. But in theory, I should have really brought these guys out and then maybe brought them back over here. Done that thing that I always say to people, hey, don't put one squad in at a time. I always say that quite often in these games, but you know, do as I say, not as I do. That's what my granddad used to say. The Lost Celestians over here, plenty of fiery bits, but the Rex just don't care. They're like, yes, hurt me more. That's what I'm into. We'll strike them down. Also going for that big, blooming anti-morale Dark Eldar global ability. Yeah, they've killed everything. I am dead. I attempted to... So, funny story, I attempted to build another Ecclesiastical Chapel down here. I asked for a donation from Dr. Knox. He only had 250 blue money, so he gave me all that. And the moment he gave me it, then I died. So he was like, shit, well, I've got no more money, and these guys are pushing in, and I've just lost my army. So he thought, there's no point in chilling out, even though his base is still here. We'll never forget you, you're still here. Gosh darn it. So we've now just got a last stand from the Battle Sisters in the middle. Got some witches, or should I say the Hectari Witch Squad. Not sure why the name's changed in Unification, but they do. And they're going to be set on fire for a little while, but realistically they don't care. They've got all this to smash up. And now with Splash not having anyone telling him what the hotkeys are for certain buildings, he's got basically no chance. Erosion or corrosive acid being thrown down from the soul abilities. And I do believe that is all she wrote. So the first game goes to the Dark Eldar. So let's move on to the next game. Alright, and here we are in Game 2. It's another 3v3, still in Unification, and we are on Cassia Luton. Playing as the sisters, we have got Crimson, Vrax, and Tiger Shark, and as a Dark Eldar, we've got Splash, me, and OMC Dr. Knox. So this time we thought, well, you know what? We're not playing as teams, are we? It's more playing as the factions, seeing which faction would win. So what we've done is that we've decided to swap over and see if that would help our causes. As we're all that confident playing as sisters, so we're going to give Dark Eldar a try and see what's going on. Speaking of which, while we've got some downtime, if you yourself want to have some sort of... if I can get my words out properly. If you want to have some sort of influence on which next theme games should be on the channel, if you go over to the Patreon, £1 a month does allow you to also vote on the next theme games. I do admit the turnover for theme games is a little bit slower than I would like, but it's... We're all busy, aren't we? Finding people who actually want to take part in theme games and making the theme games exciting and dynamic to watch is quite the task, believe it or not. So, you know, we'll get them done as and when. We're also trying to get some more faction war things on the go. So if you want to influence which is the next one, the day before that this will go live, there will be a vote on a couple of different themes that I could think of. And there's, then if you want to play in these games, you're more than welcome to. We've got a couple of people. I do believe, what was it? I think it's Splash, who is fairly new. And I believe, who's the other one? It's Crimson. Where are you, Crimson? Crimson down here, he is also fairly new to playing with the boys and the girls on the Discord. So, yeah, come down, man. Throw down a face down, get involved. I don't need to be there, but I do try to be there. But you don't have to have my permission. You just come along. See, it's your own life. You do what you want to. Anyway, so our plan for today is... I mean, we don't have any kind of jet bike stuff going on at the moment. We do have some Hellions there. We're generally thinking, right, well, we're just going to have a couple of bits and bobs and see what we can do, but we're not going to be too aggressive in the early game. Whereas the sisters, I've got no idea what they were planning, because obviously I was not on their team. But we are going to see the Hellions chase away these novitiates. Not amazing are the novitiates, but they can get a superior, a megafire, and a hospitaler, or hospitaller, depends on how you want to pronounce that word. But I mean, it's a tier 1 capping unit that isn't a missionary, which I'll take. I'm going to stick down a Inferno turret around there, as well as probably upgrading this listing post. It'll make it even more deadly. Could have done with putting that Inferno turret just a little bit, maybe more adjacent to the listing post. They can both support each other in a ranged engagement. Ecclesiastical Servitor has been taken down, another one being chased off. Novitiates just need to hold on until this listing post is upgraded. We are going to see my Mandrakes moving on. We're also going to see some My Chemical Romance-esque nonsense going on as they are capturing this critical location. And another push over onto this side. Hellions leading the charge from Splash as he looks to strike down and keep these novitiates back somewhat. But some Seraphim's going to jump over. And they're going to cause these Hellions some issues. They're going to bees back. But quite a significant push coming on down on this side. Even with the upgrade listing post, Hellions will continue. They've lost their morale. They're losing their health. You can see a Mandrake squad moving in for support. But some Celestians as well. That was a quick tier 2 from Vrax down here. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, it's Crimson down here. I mean, he's still gone for a quick tier 2, I do believe? Question mark? Yeah, you've got your pointy bits on, therefore you are in tier 2. I know how the buildings work. I've seen Jageus's video. And I'll tell if someone's in tier 2. Just now needs to do a video for that, for Unification. And then all will be sorted. There you go, free content idea for you there, young man. You're welcome, keep it, it's yours. You know, just show me some love, man. Anyway, we've Dark Elder over here, they've been taken away, they're just running. Tail in between their legs. They've captured the critical location there. But for how long they'll be able to hold it with these Celestians out and about. Quite difficult for us to go for any kind of technological, or should I say some vehicular stuff with those Celestians on the field. Although on the northern side there's no Celestians to be seen. Got a good amount of close combat units. I brought some Mandrakes over in a flanking position. Trying to get these guys, but then these guys run away. It's like, come back. No, we need you. But we stay anyway. We'll give it a good old college try before we think, no, okay, fair enough. Now does not seem to be the time to push. Like I said, it's a lack of confidence from all of us. We don't exactly know what the capabilities of our units are. The double missionaries coming over, ready to lay hands upon the ladies. And everyone's going to fall back towards this Tower of Loathing. Another engagement. So this time, Splash was coming in to do an assault, and I was like, nah, mate, we'll just chill around here, so we're both just as bad as each other, really. Mandrakes will have a little sniff, but aside against it, Novitiates standing on the back lines. Got a significant amount of ladies over here. I do believe it's double Celestian, yeah, double Celestians. Starting to get their multi-melter, so the Tower of Loathing is going to struggle to stand up and stray right. The missionaries tanking the damage. Narrowly avoiding death with 26 health. What an absolute hero he is. And Dr. Nox, he ain't got that much on the field at the moment. He's going to get a Hall of Blood. He's got his Witch Cult Arena out. So potential for some big witches later on. We've got me coming down some Mandrakes and a warrior squad. Not sure it'll be enough to curtail this Sister's force, but should be enough in theory to keep them at bay for a little while. I'm also starting to collect souls as well. So fingers crossed we can get some sort of shenanigans on the go with these ladies. Warriors are going to struggle as they combat, or as the missionaries do believe, I think they've got shotguns. Someone's got shotguns. I can hear them blasting off somewhere. It's not pleasant for the Mandrakes. We also have a raider from me. Look at that. Coming in and instantly dying. I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea when there's two Celestians over there. But, you know, it was something. It was something, gosh darn it. Scourge is also not standing up too well to the firepower of the... Oh, it's that missionary with the shotgun. Right, okay, fair enough. We are seeing some hex grenades as well being used, trying to lower their morale and keep them honest and clean, but my force over here has been defeated. Still have some Mandrakes there. We've managed to keep the army split up for at least a little bit of time, keeping Dr. Nox on his toes, or at least keeping him alive, should I say. Mandrakes being chased around and shot down from these Tiger Sharks army, which are just sitting here. They're refusing to move. They've moved in. They ain't going anywhere. We're about to see a Hekataru Witch Squad come out just in the nick of time. And we've also got two warriors, well, now three, going to come over and see if they could do anything against these Celestians. Witch Squad's instantly activating their space cocaine. We also have some Rex and some Scourges coming down and bringing everything down, trying to do anything as possible to keep these guys alive. Sadly, we cannot have Splash, as he is defending his own base at the moment from an incursion of women. So it's not going well for us. It's not going well at all. We've managed to break the morale of a couple of these ladies with a overall Dark Eldar Soul ability, which is managing to gain a fair bit of number as the sisters were trying to focus down the Cabal Fortress. It's not done them any favours. Rax also really adding to our defences here. Sisters probably do have a killing blow at the moment, but it is risky. You don't want to lose all this material over a false sense of security. So they are going to fall back just a smidge as a squad of novitiates die. Of the Witch Squad still continuing to push over. Healing hands on the ladies over here, keeping them fighting fit and healthy. Does seem that over here as well, the combination of Hellions, Canoness has been stricken down by the Archon, so fairly decent defense from both the north and the south, but we are still on the defensive here. After having lost quite a lot of stuff, having to dedicate a lot of economy just to keep alive in that moment. So I do believe that these sisters are probably taking up quite significantly. Let's have a look at the economies. It's 98 and 10, 140 and 70, and 116 and 40 compared to 80 and 20, 110 and 20, and 80 and 30. So yeah, definitely struggling to keep up with that sisters economy. They've just been able to sit back and use a lot of their blue money and green money for econ upgrades. I'm going to bring home a Rhino transport. We've got some Scourges, so we can upgrade them with a Dark Lance or two. But very fragile. Got to make sure that they are within a safe place. And Splash just holding that line. You can't push out. The Battle Sisters have got their heavy bolters on the go. They've got the Seraphins for that angelic visage. Activating the space drugs. Although Confessor using that blooming boomy Emperor ability, killing a lot of witches there. Bringing down some corrosive acid onto these Battle Sisters here, seeing if we can chew through their armor as quickly as humanly possible. Scourges, now that they've been gone for the Heat Lances, going to do less damage against the infantry, but we have managed to take down that Rhino transport. And these missionaries just keeping everyone so healthy. Thoughts and prayers clearly do work in the 41st millennium. Scourges managing to keep alive as these Celestians are being chased around by the Rax. And a singular Mandrake who's left over. Another push on the northern side. As the Battle Sisters, one by one, kill absolutely everything. Homunculus also struggling, will probably die. Will he die? Yes, you will die. Emotional stuff. Slave Chamber, one by one, will be taken aback. And we on the southern side have also been pushed back quite considerably as well. Scourges jumping over the river, repositioning. It's a majority Scourge composition at the moment, which, no matter how many Scourges you have, they do a lot of damage, but if someone can weather their storm for even a little bit, Scourges do tend to drop like flies. So I'm going to bring some more down just in case. Because why not? This is, again, not quite confident enough to push in. They do have the killing blow there. They just need to believe in themselves. I'm going to see a Reaver jet bike. Maybe a little bit late in the game for a Reaver jet bike, but hey, that is something. Seeing more witches from the Hall of Blood. Witches are going to be what will save us. If anything is going to win this situation at the moment, it's going to be a sizable melee squad. The Exorcist coming in. Just look at the sheer amount of spread that artillery has. It's redonkulous. Got another push. Finally going straight into the base here. Reaver jet bikes on the front lines. They're taking a little bit of punishment. There aren't any Celestians on this side of the map, so they'll be relatively okay. Morale being broken across the board. We've got some Scourges of Dr. Nox jumping around the side, trying to get that Exorcist down, and they will manage to kill it before jumping back over. Blessed ammunition being used by the Celestians, which basically make them good against every armor type, if my memory serves, which it sometimes does. Also a breakthrough over here. The Reaver jetbacks are actually doing a fairly decent job. Until these Celestians, of course, get their big killers, but hey ho, you know what? This Splash man, what an absolute hero. He's doing his best, and his best may be good enough in this circumstance. That's a lot of sisters there. That is a significant conglomeration. Female rage. The Homunculus is taking it on the chin. He's in the middle, slicing and dicing, also bringing out another corrosive acid. A Confessor's big boom. Killing... Nope, actually didn't kill that much in a way, Scourges, even though they were all blotted together. I've got some Scourges on this side, seeing if I can get the Celestian squad down, but these guys have got so much health, so I'm not going to get any of them down anytime soon. One Scourge narrowly surviving death, and the Homunculus being whittled down. In fact, being beaten to death with a heavy bolter. That's very unfortunate. And oh, I completely forgot about this bit. Yeah, the Paragons come in. Women with questionable boob armor if I must say. I mean, if you check out, very oblong-shaped. I mean, congrats if you can fill the armor, but I just don't believe it. Do not believe it at all. It must be very uncomfortable for them if they could. But the Paragons are just going to basically slash away through my Dark Foundry. Might even be able to get them down before they do anything. The Torture Slave is attempting to stab it with his repair stick. Scourge is doing a really good job at holding on. We do now have a Venom out as well. Celestians don't have any... I mean, these Celestians over here, they've got some multi-melters, but they are in the wrong position at the moment. Venom is going to move out of their range. And a Venom from me as well. But I've gone on the wrong side of this battle, so I'm not going to last all that long with them. But yeah, the durability of the Scourge is really letting us down in this situation. Even these basic sisters are able to hold a line, especially with this wonderful firing concave here. But no setup time required. They just stand around and get it going. I mean, the heavy bolters have got a setup time, but you know what I mean. When you're already in like a formation like that, every single model is firing. That's why it's super important to try and get those concaves going. Not sure how you do it. Like force them into that kind of shape. I think it just kind of occurs naturally as a firefight goes on. There we go, we've got Talos coming in. If anything could save us, it's the mighty Talos. But he's like, no, that's far too much actually. Don't know what I was thinking. You know things are desperate when I think, maybe a Talos might actually be useful. Knowing full well that they've never been useful apart from in that one UA game from a long time ago. Paragon kill team going to jump in while giving their swords a sniff. Which, I mean, why not? If you can't sniff your own swords, then... Oh, see, now look at that. Now that's a beautiful concave. That's like Napoleon firing line level of gorgeousness. Really crimson. And what were they all crimsons? Yeah. Oh, I've got the Living Saint Emmeline coming in. Emmeline's coming in to cause some issues. Talos is back out, flanked with Hecataria Witch Squads. And can the Talos bring down a Living Saint? No, it cannot. Didn't even get a slash in there. Not even a slash. To be fair though, that's a quite a considerable firing line. It's probably not going to do anything, even if it did have the opportunity. Look at that! A target that Talos might be able to kill. Go on, get him! Slice him up! And that is one kill for the Talos. Yes, can we go for another one? Strike down the Saint. You ain't all that fancy. If anyone could do it, it's a Talos, baby. It's actually, it's not doing terrible. You know what? Shiver my timbers and call me Blackbeard. That was down to about half health. So if I had two Talos... Oh, I'm getting another one out. Do I do it? I can't remember. We'll find out. Got St. Mina out as well. And she has got quite an adorable, if you can see through the fire and flames, got a little flower in her hair. You know, it's like that punk rocker song that came out in the mid-2000s. Something about being born too late in a world that doesn't care. Something about punk rockers, flowers in their hair. I'm in a sister sandwich at the moment. This isn't pleasant. I mean, not as pleasant as it sounds anyway. So I'm going to be brown bread any moment now by the looks of things. Absolutely crumped. Do I rebuild some else? No, I don't. I die. And then Dr. Nox also thinks, nah, mate. Oh, we did have one more. This is entirely superfluous. We do have St. Mina versus a lot of witches here. So girl on girl action. I mean, there's the homunculus in there, but we ignore him. You know. In those videos you see online, you kind of always try and ignore the dude, don't you? Unless you're into it. I mean, I'm not here to kink shame, man. She's going to go toe-to-toe with these ladies. Also got a torture amp in there as well. Just for good measure. Quite a tall lady as well, isn't she? Not bad at all. Fantastic model. She's going to slice and dice as best she can. Very low on health, and the Hecataria witches are unconquerable in number. And just as she's about to go down, we see Emmeline coming in. And oh, that was an unfortunate way to die. Just lots of blood. But she'll come in and get revenge or avenge, should I say, her fallen Saint sister. Alright, so that is one game for the Sisters of Battle. So let's go to game 3 for the tiebreaker. And here we are for the third and final game. It's still a 3v3, still in Unification, and we are on Dread Alley. Playing for the Dark Eldars in this game, we've got Tiger Shark, we've got me, and we've got Cheese Master. And then playing as the sisters, we have got Splash, we've got Vrax, and we have got Crimson. So I do quite like this map, right? But I don't understand why you don't often see people play it. So on this map, essentially, everyone's got just a lot of strategic points to play with, so potential for huge armies for everyone. Only problem is that if you're on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, your economy's a little bit later as... I mean, you've got a long way to walk for most of your stuff, but the guys in the middle, they've got a lot to play with almost instantly, which is quite exciting. And from the games that I've seen and played, quite a lot of the time, you get these, like big back and forths on this side of the aisle, you get big back and forths on this side of the aisle, and you got the opportunity to maybe do some skirmishing over by jumping over on these middle bits as well, which is always quite cool. So yeah, also bear in mind that we've got Cheese Master. He's also fairly new to the Discords, or at least playing with the boys online. It was quite a nice chap to talk to and play with, as all the people are on Discord. Definitely everyone is a character at the very least, and a pleasant ones at that. So yeah, so our strategy for this game is essentially kill the sisters better than last time, which is not a great strategy, but I'm thinking, well, since I'm in the middle, I've either got to support this side or this side, so whichever side is winning, send in some dudes, or maybe if the side is losing, I need to support them. I'm thinking Scage is probably a good idea, considering that there's, like, bits I can jump over, so it'll save the reinforcement time. But the Seraphins from Vrax over here are going to come over and just be a general nuisance, going for decaps across the board. Mandrakes will struggle with trying to keep up with them. I mean, if the micro is good enough, they can avoid all sorts of damage. So that's why a warrior squad has been chosen to come out, just to help see if they can shoot them down from a distance. Got double Seraphins now out over here, and they are also on auto-reinforce. So they're going to mass into big numbers, which will cause us some problems if we don't sort them out fairly soon. Battle Sisters and Canoness over here also going to chase away these Mandrakes. I imagine it's a fairly similar situation. Oh, no, never mind, it's a different situation. Still Mandrakes, but we've got a Missionary and a Novitiate Battle Sister squad coming over. Missionary giving a big jump before he pops down that flag, which is much respect going on there. Gotta show mad props to a person who does not skip leg day. Seraphim still being a nuisance in the centre. All the warriors have been killed. We now only have these Mandrakes going about. We are going to go for infiltrated Mandrakes, just that even if they can't catch these Seraphins, they can at least just be... There we go, look at that. Now they're completely unaware of what's going on. It's like, oh my goodness, what? Oh, I'm suddenly bleeding. Why is my limbs falling off? I have no idea, Battle Sister. Let us retreat, maybe. But they're not retreating. They don't care. Oh, never mind. They're not retreating. They're just going to go and support someone else on the other side as they are being pushed in towards their base. You don't really want that, especially when you need to get your builders out to build some listing posts over on this side. So Vrax is going to support his ally on this side of the map. So far, good pushes from the left and right. Splash over here looking to see if he can get some attacks off over on here. Needs to capture his critical locations. Do remember that in Unification, to get your big bad units, you do require these critical locations. And there are only two, I believe. There's one here, and there's one here. So capturing these corridors is very essential as we go on into the late game. Archon will be out and about, trying to slash these ladies with his big right hand and stun these Battle Sisters, but not being able to capitalise on it, which is a shame. Over on here, Archon, kind of a similar idea. Going to ignore the Canoness. Disregard women, gain money. I think that was the meme a while ago, wasn't it? Or something like that. The internet was a different time back in the 2016. I suppose it was actually still like that now, isn't it? I suppose that's still like a general message. Which I, for one, don't support. You know, why can't we all just be friends? It's chill on the southern corridor, and the siege continues. Got a good amount of ladies down over here. Seraphim's still knocking about. The warriors will move forward. They haven't got their shredder rifles. After all, for a shredder rifle, you need a dark foundry. And maybe Cheese Master doesn't fancy it. Maybe he doesn't fancy a dark foundry. He's going vanilla, baby. Morale being broken by the... Should really learn the names of the Dark Eldar global abilities. I just don't play them often enough. They're just not my style, you know? They're not green enough. They're not mean enough. I've got a push going on. Tiger Shark with his boys. I think I've also got some Mandrakes in here as well. We can just melee everyone to death. That sounds like a good idea to me. On this side, more infiltrated Mandrakes as well. Have I brought Mandrakes to both sides? Hold on, let me swap to a Dark Eldar player. Am I helping both? I am helping both. Look at me. Look at the sheer amount of micro. Focusing on 2 different battles at one time. Have a word. See if we can take down this listening post. Might be able to get it. Mandrakes have a surprising good amount of damage against buildings, even if they are only stabbing them. So we take it out on the side. You know what? We've done enough damage. Let's bees back home. Over on here, we're having a little bit of a different idea. Should have really turned around and focused on this listening post, but nah. You can't be perfect all the time, can you? In the pursuit of perfection, sometimes we fail. Sometimes we do better when we're not trying to be perfect. These Mandrakes will have to run all the way home. We do have a lot of warrior squads over here. Should we need to fall back? And we most certainly do. But just back and forth all day long, baby. And I imagine that the teching up will be a little bit slower than normal, as... Have you got spiky bits? You have got spiky bits, so you're in tier 2. You in tier 2? Yes. You in tier 2? Yes, tech is going to be a little bit behind for a lot of players, I believe. Sometimes sisters go for the quick tier 2, but no. Amazingly quick tier 2s at the moment, as, like I say, everyone's spending a lot of money on just holding those initial points for now. While we are getting some good pushes, we have managed to capture both critical locations. We do not have the strength and fortitude to be able to push all the way into the sisters' bases for now. They've got a really good... I mean, near their base, they've got light cover outside 1, and they've just got... Well, they've just got stuff over here, haven't they? Got light cover here. I mean, they were pushed away from here a while ago, but... It's just hard, man. Because by the time we get all the way over there and start killing things with our Mandrakes, a lot of the Mandrakes tend to die. One lonely Mandrake standing around here. No friends. Not in squad. Oh, there we go. It's going to get more friends. Gonna telephone them in. I'm going to have some Scourges over on this. I'm going to build up some number. I'm thinking, right, okay, well, while everyone else is busy, I'm just going to jump these guys in. And that'll be fun and useful, maybe. I'm going to wait till they're built up first before I do anything with them. Got another push going on this side. As I jump over on the side, right, okay, now it's time to fire. But then for some reason, some stupid bloody reason, these pigeon boys decide to engage in close combat. So what are you doing? I bought you 4 brand new shiny dark lances, and you're going bloody melee. How annoying is that? So anyway, they could have killed that listening post by the time the Seraphins came in, but no, they didn't. Stupid bloody pigeons. Anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. We're getting pushed back over on this side. The sisters have now got some heavy bolters, so that will certainly add to their destructive capabilities when these Mandrakes try to engage them in close combat. Scourge as well will also struggle to stay alive in that general situation. My Scourges have now just gone back home in shame, heads hanging low, as they fail to do the basic things like, oh, I don't know, pull a trigger. I'm not bitter at all. Not at all. Anyway, what have we got going on over here? Not much in the way of a unit composition at the moment. Still primarily in tier 1. But the sisters are now upgrading themselves as well on the right-hand side with the heavy bolters. Going to see some Celestians in their ranks. So, I mean, if these girls push now, we're going to really, really struggle. I'm going to see a Ghost Tower of Anguish, which is a turret for the Dark Eldar. Back down over onto the southern side. Scourges triple in number. To provide some covering fire as the Mandrakes move forward. They have been spotted by some infiltration detection units. Angelic Visage popping off. Hands of Healing as well. All the faith. None of the drama. Mandrakes falling down one by one. Lots of souls been left on the ground. And the Scourges on their own, being tied up by the Seraphins. They ain't going to do all that much. They will probably need to retreat. And there we go. I'll do a little bunny hop. Clearly not. There we go, Mr. Landshark. You go for a big jump. Big jump for big boys. That's what we say. We'll see some more warriors coming over from me to support on this side, as I noticed that our numbers are not that large. Have I tiered up yet? I have tiered up. I'm just not doing anything all that useful. I'm going for a lot more warriors. And we've also got some Vraks. Or Racks, should I say. On this side. The sisters, they're pounding us good and proper with those long-range weapons. Same with stuff on this side. Just that Angelic Visage just increasing everyone's damage by about 25% or so. Really just adds to their melting ability. Archon over here falls down. Got the warriors coming over. Got my warriors as well, providing some support. The secondary Ghost Tower of Anguish, ready to support these guys. And actually, once that blooming Angelic Visage fades away, they have been stopped. So there we go. Build some mines, sorry for Caps West. Yes. You know what, isn't it just horrible how sometimes you'll write something in caps like, I don't want to rewrite that. Can't be bothered to rewrite that. Especially not in a high-octane game like this. Vax charge straight forward. Lethal boys. And we do have a Rhino transport as well. Coming forth, causing issues for everyone. Gonna transport these ladies closer. Not sure what that'll do though. Not sure if being transported straight in front of highly mobile Scourges is what you initially want. But hey, you know what? They got to go for a little drive. Little ride, little cruise through the streets of Christ, whatever this map's called. I've already forgotten. Alley of Sadness, maybe, or something. Well, the sisters are not backing down. They've been pushed back a little bit, but they're still quite a lethal amalgamation of stuff. Let's have a look at the economies really quick. We have got 92 and 30, 134 and 60, and 98 and 20, compared to 126 and 50, 147 and 66, and 133 and 66. So fairly even economies all around. Everyone's more or less in the same kind of tech path, I do believe. Still tier 2 for these guys, I think. I think maybe even tier 3 for these guys. Can't quite tell. But Soulstorm, look at that. Beautiful Soulstorm by me. Catching all these ladies right in the middle. They do manage to jump out of it. Should have probably chose to focus on these ladies down here instead of the less mobile ones. But that's also just chunking away at the damage there. Our squad's looking to see if they can take care of that listing post. We also have a Exorcist, which, as we've seen before, just does a ton of damage when the rockets fall. Rockets not falling? Where are you firing? Why is this going on? Oh, while that's going on, we also have double raiders from Cheesemaster inside of Vrax's base. Both got warrior squads inside them, so that's going to be a huge issue and problem for him. He's going to bring his Seraphins over to... Well, when they're ready to jump, when they've got more jumping juice left. There we go, the Exorcist now starts firing. Elton John playing us a smooth symphony. Might even be Stevie Wonder as well. He was known for playing the piano, wasn't he? Sir Duke, wonderful song. I've also brought a raider in. Oh, sorry, a raven. Just because I wanted to contribute. Didn't do much, but, you know, it was nice. It's nice to contribute every now and then. Got an Immolator on the top side. Giving them a push. And just the sheer amount of back and forth going on down here. The Scourge is really struggling with the amount of damage incoming from the Exorcist. So, a couple of squad wipes by the looks of things. Canoness in the middle, at the front, where she belongs. Pride and place in the front lines. Down on this side, the sisters have managed to push these guys away from the critical locations, but no detection means that these Mandrakes can go about their business. Vrak's finally taking care of those double raiders and all the warriors on them as well. So that's good. Well done. Sisters push continues. Splash at the front. Monculi going toe-to-toe with a lightning fighter. Got some Hekatari witch squads there. And if they can get into close combat, as we saw in the second game, question mark, in the second game, when just one squad was able to more or less hold the line quite effectively. Should be alright. Some bombs being thrown at the Tower of Loathing. We are going to see it being upgraded into its tier 3 component. Exis just... And not only is it just deadly against infantry as well, but the knockback as well is really infuriating for them. Scourge is looking to see if they can get us a few shots about the Exis, but there are two of them now. And the constant incoming fire. It's going to be an absolute pain for us to deal with. And it looks like the tide is turning. Dark Eldar having dominance over these middle lanes so far. It's now switching over to the sisters. But the Exist goes down here. These guys are going to move forward and see if they can focus maybe on this one as well. And here comes the Dice of Destruction, the Pimp Wagon itself. I thought, well, because the middle players, they get access to a relic each. So I thought, well, why not spice things up with the Pimp Daddy himself rocking on over. Got double immolators, but thankfully these turrets are helping Cheese Master hold this line. We've got a very disco-esque firing line from these immolators going on. And what's holding you off? Is it just one squad of witches? Yeah, one squad of witches. Also got a grotesque and a monstrous chimera rocking on down. Also, one thing to notice, one of my monstrous chimeras that got out a lot earlier has started to get stuck on a slave chamber. So there's that. That wasn't pleasant. Dice of Destruction single-handedly pushing these guys back, bringing out that big dark scythe. Whoa. Going in for one pass. Absolutely lethal. And if anything, I know I can't win this, but if I'm just stood here while these guys are firing at this, they're not over here killing Tiger Shark's base. So if anything, it's just a big, blooming big target. Once Chimera, I don't know what you're... Are you attacking the blooming Tower of Loathing? That's not what you're supposed to do, Mr. Monstrous Chimera. We've got the big Ravs out. Again, I know that they can't win the fight, but can it just absorb the damage and just hold these ladies away from Cheese Master's base? That's the thinking. My secondary Monstrous Chimera has now decided to no longer be stuck on the meat chamber, and he will come out. And these Monstrous Chimeras, their demon armor, I'm able to cause some serious issues. And the Grotesques, much like the Vraxes, but even tankier, even more deadly, also have these disgusting little blooming green flamers on the ends of their arms. I mean, the models as well just aren't all that pleasant to look at neither. An amalgamation of several people from my understanding. Just a hodgepodge of sentient beings forced to do their master's will. Oh, we've got some Trubon! Dudes with capes. Yeah. Everyone loves a man in a cape. Unless, of course, you're that costume maker from the Incredibles film. Was an aversion to such kinds of... well, neckwear? Backwear? How would you classify a cape in fashion terminology? What category would it fall under? That's my question for you in the comments. Never mind the lore of Warhammer. Need some fashion advice. If there's anyone to ask about fashion advice, it's definitely Warhammer people. Yeah, Monstrous Chimeras and the Chimera regulars swarming over these sisters. Munching and crunching away. And as we go into the tier 3s, our battle lines are looking more and more monstrous. What are these sisters going for? They're continuing with... oh, they're going to transition a bit into the lightning fighters, hoping that their aircraft will be able to avoid much of the close combat damage from the grotesques, and the Vraxes. Got Confessor's big boom. But not really killing all that much. And just the speed of these guys as well. You're not avoiding close combat with these anytime soon. Got Living Saint Arabella. Big stabby stick on it. Looks a bit like... Looks almost like a superhero-esque costume. If you stand still. It's like Spider-Man almost. Or Deadpool. Whichever takes your fancy. She's going to be a tough cookie to deal with, as she also has demon armor, and I don't think Dark Eldar have much in the way of anti-demon weaponry. But Big Rav might be able to sort her out. She's overextended herself quite significantly. Should really be on the back lines helping her. There we go, come back over. See if you can help your sisters. Paragon kill team. Opening fire. And that gunfire is actually causing my brain to melt. Oh, this is not a fresh dice of destruction. We did not lose it. Because you know what I did when it was low health? I brought it back to base and I repaired it. Crazy, I know. But sometimes you can do that. Poor Living Saint, she's been surrounded. She's got ankle biters everywhere, nipping at her heels. And she goes down, only to return once again, I imagine. Here we go, she comes back. For the good times, for the bad times. Almost full health as well, which is incredible. Chimera Pack deciding to munch on the Beastmaster. She's already used her ability, I do believe. So they're just going to eat each other until they feel better about themselves. Munch Chimera looking to move inside of Crimson's base here. And good lord, that is an awful sound. Now we're pushing into the base. Grotesques and Vraxes on the front lines. Castigator there for Vrax here. And yeah, the sisters haven't really moved out of their tier 2. They've only just now got their castigators. They could... I mean, the Paragon kill teams, amazing addition. Got a Zerafin squad, that's exciting. Armed with plasma pistols, they would certainly be an advantage. Yeah, I reckon that the Seraphins are jumping about everywhere. If they actually went back over here, I wasn't all that well defended. Very much so. Could have easily have stopped my support from coming in to the left-hand side and the right-hand side with just a squad of Seraphins or two. But they're focused on those lanes, man. You see the base crumbling down over here. And over on this side as well. Adeptus Sororitas Convent being surrounded. The Pimp Wagon still fighting strong. Did have a aeroplane coming over here, but it has been killed. Now we need to see some extra stuff from these boys. Ecclesiarchal Chapel from Crimson has been built up on this side. And we've now gone for a Soul Cage for Cheese Master. I have been donated a critical location over here, so I'm just waiting for... Oh no, never mind, I've built it. The Void Dragon Phoenix. The big bad for the Dark Eldar here. We're now striding over. We think, right, well, we've killed a good amount of Splash's base. The last thing to kill is Vrax. If we can get him down with his elite army, we should be alright. Void Phoenix Dragon. Not the toughest of Titan units. But it does do a heck of a lot of damage. Being able to fire at multiple targets at once. That big Dark Matter Blaster, as you can see there, does area effect damage. Only a couple of shots to take out a full Celestian squad. Castigator over here being punched around the chops. As well as it's now our turn to have a beautiful concave. Maybe not as beautiful as Crimson's earlier on. But gosh darn it, it's something, and we'll take it. We have seen the Ecclesiarchal Chapel down here. I'm not sure he's got any more builders left. Also having people spread out. In case anyone's got any funny business or ideas of building any more units. Well, Tempest rolling in now. Having a little bounce before it lands. quite a bold unit, actually. Almost looks cartoonish, which I don't mind, actually. I don't mind the cartoony kind of looking models. I know that it pops out in comparison to, say, the Pimp Wagon, with all its curves and jittery bits. But, you know, it's... People make models with different styles. And I like diversity in some things. I've got Chimera Pack coming over, going to attempt to finish off Splash and all his units. Vrax is going to go down as well. But like I say, I think... I mean, it was very close. The Sisters did manage to turn it around roundabouts the mid to second part of the game. But they didn't quite transition all that well into their tier 3s to get out those big units. We did see a Saint, and we saw those Paragon kill teams. Well, Absolute Wonders, oh look, this is just Soulstorms everywhere. That's not a happy time for anyone, is it? But yeah, so they it's just a lack of big units later on in the game. And these blooming Chimeras and the Warp Beast, they're absolutely insane. They don't die very quickly. They've got their demon armor, and for 3,100 health, they're not that bad. Not that bad at all. We'll come over. We'll kill things. Essentially, I know that people don't like me ending the game earlier than, you know, until it's absolutely confirmed that someone wins. But let me tell you now, the rest of this game got another maybe 3 or 4 minutes left. It is just basically people building up production buildings on other parts of the map and cockroaching just to extend the game, just for a bit of fun, a bit of slap and tickle, a little bit of a cheeky gameplay mechanic there. You know, how would one say, hide and seek? That'd be the way to describe it. So you know what, I am going to end it there. So, like I say, if you want to have an influence in what kind of theme games we do in the future, do have a look at the Patreon. Also get 1 game extra a week, which is always nice, just for 1 shiny pound. And what else is there? There's a Discord. If you want to take part in these games, go onto the Discord. I try and organise things every now and then, but I'm quite busy, so I'm not there all too often. But you're more than welcome to organise your own stuff if you want. And that is all? Question mark? I've completely forgot how I ended the videos. Oh, anyway, man, it's been a Slantshark. Pleasure as always, never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.